There are gestures that seem simple, almost insignificant, yet hold within them the memory of something sacred. The position of the hands, how we hold them, where we rest them, can open or close entire channels of energy within us. Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, understood this profoundly. He believed that the human body is not just flesh and bone, but a living map of divine currents, and that the hands, in their silent intelligence, are one of the purest instruments through which life itself communicates. Tonight, as you prepare to rest, imagine that your hands are not merely at rest upon your body, but that they are praying in silence, remembering the ancient language of healing that flows through touch, intention, and surrender. When we sleep, the conscious mind withdraws, and the gates of the subtle world open. It is then, in the hush between breaths, that the body begins to repair what the noise of the day has disturbed. Cayce taught that the position of our hands during these hours of stillness could guide this repair, directing vital energy where the body needs it most. To him, the human being was an instrument tuned by thought and gesture. When out of harmony, it produces noise, illness, imbalance, unrest. But when aligned, even in something as delicate as a sleeping posture, it resonates with the quiet rhythm of the universe. The practice he described was simple. Before sleep, place your hands gently over your solar plexus, with your right hand resting atop the left. Do this for 9 nights, he said, and the energy of healing will begin to remember its path home. Why 9 nights? In the language of the spirit, numbers are not coincidences, they are vibrations. The number 9 has long been regarded as the number of completion, the symbol of a cycle fulfilled. It is the bridge between what was and what is yet to come. Cayce often spoke of patterns, of how the soul moves through rhythms that mirror nature itself. 9 months for a life to begin in the womb, 9 stages in the path of transformation. To hold this gesture for 9 nights is not a command. It is an invitation to re-enter the sacred rhythm of healing, to synchronize your inner tides with the deeper pulse of creation. And as you repeat the act night after night, the body begins to listen. The heart begins to trust again, the energy begins to flow. It is curious how something so small can reveal something so vast. In modern life, we often look for healing in the complex, in technologies, formulas, and diagnoses, but Cayce's wisdom whispers of a truth much simpler, that energy follows attention. Your hands, when placed upon your body with awareness, become extensions of that attention. They tell the body, I am here, I am listening. And the body, like a child finally seen, begins to calm. The hands, after all, are the first bridge between spirit and matter. Through them we build, we comfort, we create, we bless. They are the visible end of an invisible current that begins in the heart. Perhaps this is why when our hands are placed upon our own center, the soul feels accompanied. It remembers that healing was never something to be found outside, but something to be awakened within. So tonight, before sleep, do not rush to perform a ritual. Simply breathe. Let your hands rest gently over your center, not as an act of will, but of remembering. Feel their warmth begin to speak with the rhythm of your breath. Feel the pulse beneath them, steady and ancient, as if the earth itself were whispering through your skin. This is the language of energy, the conversation between what you are and what you have forgotten to be. And as you drift towards sleep, allow this gesture to become your prayer, that every cell, every thought, every dream be reconnected to the quiet intelligence that always knew how to heal. When you wake in the morning, after practicing this small gesture, you might not notice anything extraordinary. The world will look the same, the light will fall through your window as it always has. Yet, beneath the surface, something subtle begins to shift. Healing, real healing, rarely announces itself with fireworks. It arrives like dawn, quietly, persistently, illuminating what was once hidden. Edgar Cayce often said that the body is the outer expression of an inner pattern, that illness begins first in the unseen layers of thought and emotion, long before it manifests as pain or fatigue. So when you lay your hands upon your solar plexus, what you are really touching is the invisible architecture of yourself. You are reminding your body of its blueprint, whispering, remember what wholeness feels like. In Cayce's view, Energy flowed through the body like water through a series of channels, what he sometimes described as currents of life. When these currents are blocked, by fear, by resentment, by the heavy sediment of worry, the water grows stagnant. The gesture of the hands is not just symbolic, it is an act of redirection. The solar plexus, that center just below the ribs, is the meeting point of many rivers. It is where the energy of the heart meets the fire of the will. By resting your hands there, right over that delicate intersection, you're gently reminding the currents to flow again. Imagine for a moment that inside you there is a river long forgotten. Each night, your touch melts a little more of the ice that has kept it frozen, and as it begins to move again, it carries with it not only physical vitality, but emotional release, the sigh of a self finally allowed to breathe. Cayce often emphasized that no act of healing was ever purely physical. He saw the human being as a trinity, body, mind, and spirit, woven so tightly that one could not truly move without the others. The hands, therefore, were sacred instruments of alignment. When used consciously, they could harmonize these three aspects. The warmth of your palms is not just heat, it is the gentle echo of the soul reaching toward balance. Even modern science, with its language of neurons and frequencies, begins to acknowledge what mystics have known for centuries. That touch itself alters the state of the nervous system, that intention changes the electromagnetic field of the body. To touch with presence is to communicate directly with the intelligence that built you. You do not need to command it, you only need to listen. What happens over 9 nights is not a miracle in the theatrical sense, it is an unfolding. The gesture, repeated with quiet devotion, begins to re-educate your energy. Each night the mind softens a little more, the breath deepens, the body yields to the rhythm of restoration. Cayce used to say that the hands are extensions of the heart, and perhaps that is the real secret. When the heart learns to speak again, every part of the being listens. Over time, you may notice that your sleep feels more restorative, your mornings calmer, your emotions less sharp. These are not coincidences, they are the language of harmony returning. Healing, in this sense, is not about fixing something broken. It is about remembering that nothing essential was ever lost. So as the nights pass, let each one become an act of reverence. Do not measure results or expect sensations. Trust instead in the quiet intelligence of your own being. The gesture itself becomes a kind of prayer that transcends words, a dialogue between the finite and the infinite, between the breath you take and the breath that was given to you. Each night, as your hands rest over your center, imagine that you are reconnecting with the original rhythm of life itself, the pulse that moves through stars and cells alike. And as your mind drifts between waking and sleep, let this thought settle gently in you. The same force that turns the seasons, that heals the ocean, that opens the seed, lives in your hands tonight. There is a moment, somewhere between the 8th breath and the edge of sleep, when the body dissolves into stillness and awareness begins to expand. It is there, in that quiet threshold, that the true work of this practice begins. Edgar Cayce spoke often about vibration, the subtle frequencies through which the soul communicates with the body. Every emotion, every thought, every memory emits a tone, and the sum of those tones becomes the harmony, or the dissonance, of our being. When the hands rest upon the solar plexus, the intention acts like a tuning fork. It does not force the body to heal. It invites the vibration of balance to return. What changes is not just circulation or muscle tension, but the song of your inner field. Healing, in this sense, is the restoration of music where there had been noise. If you could see yourself energetically during these moments, you would witness something astonishing. A soft glow gathering at the center of your being, expanding with each exhale, rippling outward like light through water. The warmth beneath your hands is not only physical, it is consciousness flowing back into itself. Cayce believed that the solar plexus was the sun within, the spiritual reflection of the great solar light that sustains all life. When you rest your hands there, you are not only calming your body, you are aligning your own inner sun with the rhythm of the universe. This is why the ancient mystics placed such importance on the act of touch, on mudras, on the symbolic postures of the hands. Each gesture is a key. And the key you hold now opens the door to remembering that you are not separate from the intelligence that moves through all things. You are part of its living circuitry. Over the 9 nights, a quiet transformation begins to take root, not in grand epiphanies, but in the small, nearly invisible changes that accumulate in the depth of your perception. Perhaps you notice that the tension in your chest has softened. Perhaps your dreams begin to carry images of water, light, and movement. These are not random. They are the language of your subconscious aligning with the flow of renewal. Cayce often described dreams as letters from the soul, gentle instructions delivered while the mind sleeps. Through this nightly ritual, you begin to read those letters again, and within them, the same message repeats in different forms. You are safe, you are guided, you are whole. The act of resting your hands upon your center becomes a dialogue between your human fragility and your divine resilience. It is as if your own essence was saying to you, I never left, I was only waiting for you to listen. Modern science, with all its precision, is slowly rediscovering what Cayce and the mystics already knew, that energy follows awareness, and awareness follows love. Studies on the heart's electromagnetic field now reveal what healers have always sensed. That intention itself carries measurable power. When you direct your attention inward, when you infuse your touch with gentleness and gratitude, your entire physiology responds. The nervous system quiets, the breath deepens, the immune system awakens. You become, quite literally, a conductor of coherence. But the real gift of this practice lies not only in physical improvement, it lies in the soft revolution that happens inside your consciousness. For in the act of caring for yourself so deliberately, you begin to dissolve the old illusion of separation. You stop seeking light outside and start realizing that it was radiating from your own palms all along. And so, night after night, this simple act becomes more than a healing technique. It becomes a language of devotion. Not the devotion of worship, but of presence. You begin to understand that what Cayce taught was never about technique, but about remembrance. Remembering that every human being carries within them the same current that heals the oceans, that grows forests, that mends the fabric of time. The gesture of your hands is a doorway back to that truth. Through it, you are learning again to participate in the rhythm of life rather than to struggle against it. You are rediscovering what it means to be at home inside your own skin. And as this realization deepens, something quiet but profound begins to happen. The line between the healer and the healed disappears. There is only energy, flowing endlessly, like light returning to its source. In the quiet space that follows the 9th night, something subtle and unmistakable settles within you, a sense of returning. It is not dramatic, not a sudden revelation that shouts its truth. It feels more like recognition, like remembering a fragrance from childhood, something both ancient and intimate. The body feels lighter, the breath more generous, the mind less eager to interfere. The practice that began as a small gesture has unfolded into a conversation with the soul. And in that conversation, you begin to realize that healing was never about fixing something broken. It was about reuniting with what was always whole. Edgar Cayce's wisdom, seen through the lens of experience, reveals itself as less of a method and more of a remembrance of alignment. He taught not that we should force the body to change, but that we should listen until the change arises naturally, like a tide returning to shore. What you have touched during these nights is not just energy. It is the original language of creation. Every thought, every feeling, every heartbeat speaks this language, whether we are aware of it or not. By placing your hands over your solar plexus, you simply learn to listen more closely, to tune your awareness to the frequency of your own essence. And as that awareness grows, it begins to ripple outward. The peace you cultivate in silence becomes the peace you offer in your presence. The body heals, yes, but so does everything around you, subtly responding to the coherence you now carry. This is the quiet power Cayce embodied. The realization that we heal the world not by preaching light, but by becoming it. The true energy healing is not something we do, it is something we allow when we finally stop resisting what we are. And perhaps that is the most sacred lesson of all, that your hands were never meant only to reach outward, but also to return inward, to cradle the self that has been waiting to be held. The gesture that began as an instruction becomes a symbol of compassion, of reunion. In these 9 nights you were not performing a ritual, you were learning to touch life again, to feel its pulse beneath the layers of noise and fatigue. You were remembering that the soul, like the ocean, does not seek light, it is made of it. Cayce once said that every cell of the body responds to the song of the soul. And now you know what that means because you have heard it in your own stillness. That song has no words. It is the sound of harmony returning, of you remembering that you belong to something infinite. So when you lay down tonight, even after the 9th night has passed, let the gesture remain not necessarily in your hands, but in your awareness. Let every touch, every moment of stillness, every breath become an echo of that alignment. You do not need to repeat the ritual forever, for the energy it awakened now knows its path. It will continue to flow gently and silently through your days and dreams alike. When challenges arise, when doubt whispers, you can always return, not to an external method, but to this inner posture of trust. For healing, as Cayce showed, is not a destination, but a rhythm, and you are now part of its music. In this recognition, even ordinary moments begin to shine with quiet grace, the sunlight through your window, the softness of your own breath, the calm between thoughts. And so as this reflection draws to its close, let it not be an ending but a continuation, a reminder that the light you touched with your hands is the same light that guides you through every choice, every encounter, every breath. Carry it into the world gently. Share it not with words but through presence. When someone crosses your path in pain or confusion, let your calm be your offering. This is how healing multiplies, not by instruction but by resonance. And as you move through your days, remember that every night still holds the invitation of those 9, to rest in the arms of your own energy, to listen to the wisdom beneath the silence, to awaken once more to the truth Cayce lived and taught, that the power to heal is not given to you, it is revealed through you.